Jag here, and it's time for Jags Jabs. I am Jefferson Alonzo Green, aka the Jag, and I was just having a conversation with the homeboy OC Steve. Remember him? And he is a New Japan freaking fanatic. He keeps telling me I need to watch New Japan, and you know what? New Japan is kind of a redheaded stepchild on this channel. We don't watch a whole hell of a lot of it. Of course, we went to the show back at the Long Beach Pyramid back in August, September, I think it was, but I haven't talked much about New Japan ever since. I don't watch New Japan. You know who does? Steve. And you know what he keeps telling me is Jon Moxley this and Jon Moxley freaking that. So the Jag has challenged Steve to tell me why Jon Moxley is so fantastic, because when I watch AEW, he looks like a great value Stone Cold Steve Austin. He looks like if Steve Austin is Dr. Pepper, Jon Moxley in AEW is Dr. Thunder. It's craptastic. And so I have challenged and invited OC Steve to convince me and to convince you why Jon Moxley is fantastic, why we should bother watching him. So here we go. Today, our special guest today is Mr. OC Steve, pitching Jon Moxley and New Japan as a whole. Let's see if he convinces you and makes you a fan.
All right, so I appreciate this opportunity for the Jag tagging me in, being his resident friend that has a good knowledge and a good grasp of all things New Japan. We've gone back and forth via text and conversations, but there is a big night and day difference between the Jon Moxley that's in AEW versus the Jon Moxley that's in New Japan. The one in AEW is filtered. At best is a PG-13 version of what he is and what he was back based on his experiences before going to the WWE. Night and day difference when you go to New Japan. The Moxley in New Japan is the rated R gritty edition of Jon Moxley that is not afraid to wrestle. The best way to describe it is they let the Ferrari out of the garage and you drive it like you stole it. Some great matches during the G1 tournament at last year in 2019 with Shingo Takahashi, the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, Tetsuya Naito, and even Jay White. We got to see Moxley use all the things that are in his wheelhouse. He even won against Shingo via submission, which we never see him do because we just see him be the Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of prototype. He gets to be his own person and walk his own path. He even showed some great comedic spots because the nights that he wasn't wrestling in his block, he was with Red Shoes' son, Shooter, and they were a tag team, and some of those promotions are little like snippets at the end of the night when they interview Moxley were honestly hilarious, and you got to see his comedic chops as well. Throughout the course after the G1, he had some great matches against Juice Robinson. He won the US belt. We've seen him compete just recently in Wrestle Kingdom against Lance Archer and the Murder Grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki. What I'm looking forward to the most is seeing his technical grappling skills against Zack Sabre Jr., ZSJ. So with that in mind, just give it a shot. Check out New Japan World. You get to see Moxley at his best versus Moxley trying to be some canned carbon copy of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
OC Steve and his convincing argument about Jon Moxley. Let us know in the comments at MakeMeAFan316 if you think we should cover more New Japan. Let me know at aka the Jag if you think I should talk more about New Japan, if I should watch or give Jon Moxley a chance, if you think there's a difference between Jon Moxley in AEW and Jon Moxley in New Japan, because OC Steve seems to think there is, and I'm just not convinced yet. So I don't know what the next New Japan pay-per-view is. I'm sure Steve does. I'm sure he'll be watching it. Let us know if you want us to cover it. Put it in the comments. Hit us up on social media, and I will see you tomorrow.